One day last week, I was walking out of the supermarket, pushing my cart, and getting into the parking lot, going toward my car, and all of a sudden, I guess there was a rock that got under one of the front wheels of the cart, and the cart started to tip. And so I quickly jumped toward the front of the cart with one hand, and just made sure that the cart was level, and it didn't flip over, thank God. And I was just imagining to myself what a disaster it would have been. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because there is a Rashi in our Parsha that speaks about a donkey sort of tipping over. A donkey that is laden with a tremendous amount of goods, of material, and a person sees that this donkey might either collapse or that these goods might fall off the donkey, so a person should go and hold it up and make sure that we straighten it so that the donkey can continue to stand. Because if the donkey falls over, not only the materials fall over, but the donkey is down on the ground, the one person would be useless. It'll take 5 people to pick up the donkey. And the Torah mentions this on the pasuk of V'chiyamucha chicho mataya do imach, that if a person becomes impoverished, close to us, we see them, we have to make sure that we strengthen them. Whether they're a ger or a toshav, whether they're a stranger, we know them, we don't know them, so that they can live with us. And what Rashi is trying to teach us is that it's not enough for us to wait for a person to totally fall down, to wait for the donkey to flip over. We have to make sure that we're there when a person is struggling, when we see that they're beginning to struggle, to make sure that we strengthen them so they're able to maintain, to stay on their feet. And this is the mitzvah of tzedaka. Tzedaka is not only being there to help someone when things are completely bad, but even when a person is struggling and things are going in a negative direction, for us to be there and strengthen them and give them a sense of encouragement. And of course, tzedakah, when we think of it, it is primarily financial, which brings the Sechet Rebbe to ask a question. He says, well, when was this told to the Jewish people? When they were in the Midbar, when they were in the desert. And in the Midbar, in the desert, the Jewish people didn't have any money. So how did they fulfill the mitzvah of tzedakah? How did they give tzedakah? How did they give charity? How did they support others and help others from falling if they didn't have anything, because everything was given to them? The man was given to them so that they were able to eat. Everything they needed, Hashem took care of. And so the Sechet Rebbe says the Jewish people did fulfill the mitzvah of tzedakah when they were in the Midbar. But it wasn't in a financial way. They fulfilled the mitzvah of tzedakah in a way having to deal with emunah, with faith. That there were some people who were so strong of faith, and there were others who were weak when it came to faith. And so the people who were strong saw the people who were struggling, and they were there to strengthen them. And that was the form of tzedakah that the Jewish people fulfilled when they were in the Midbar, in the desert. And the same is true with us. Sometimes we have the opportunity to give of our resources to support people who are impoverished, and to see them as they're struggling, and to help them stand up before they get to the point where they need to ask others for help. But sometimes tzedakah is beyond only money. Sometimes tzedakah is about being there for someone in other ways. Certainly after the tragedy that took place in Meron last week, so many of us are feeling very uneasy, questioning even our own mental health, feeling downtrodden, feeling sad. And yes, there are some among us whose faith have really struggled over the course of seeing the suffering that's taken place. And it's our obligation to look at people who are among us, who may be struggling with faith, financially, or maybe struggling just emotionally. To be there, to reach out, to support, and to let people know that whatever challenge they're going through in life, that we are their friends, we are their family, we are their community, and we have a shoulder upon which they could lie their head. We have a hand that they can grasp and know that someone else cares. And in doing so, we are able to fulfill Hashem's commandment that we strengthen each other. Whether it comes to a difficult period of time where the Jewish people are reeling from tragedy, from loss, or when it comes to an individual struggle that a person is having themselves with mental health or a relationship, we can be there for each other. Let us fulfill the mitzvah of tzedakah in all ways possible. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.